Okay, I need to check how to mute everyone before I start playing. Yeah, okay. Alright, we're good. Hi. For some of you that don't know me, my name's Alex. That's my IRL name. And I just want to explain what's been going on basically in my life. Because, things have been, getting better. I still reminiscent of some stuff that I would, want to just get off my chest. I don't, want to really think about when I'm getting better. Um, for those of you that don't know, me and Serena are through. We broke up. Yeah, it was my fault. Comment. I didn't treat her like a boyfriend should treat a lover. And I kind of just, fucked up. To be totally honest. But I soon then found out that maybe it wasn't really me. I go through that relationship, putting myself down 24/7 to, make her feel better, hopefully, and hopefully she doesn't leave me, So I put myself through hell and, shit like that. But we had a talk, and she confessed that she's had feelings for a guy when we were together, and I just didn't, feel right with that. But my dumbass still loved her. Why? I don't know. When she openly admitted having feelings for someone when we were together, I should have taken that as a red flag immediately and just dropped everything. But I didn't choose to do that. Instead, I chose to be a simp. I'll be honest. I was a simp, and I didn't know how to act or function as a human being technically. So I didn't really I kind of shut down because let me explain something real fast. I myself was in quarantine for a good minute. I was in quarantine. School. They took me out of school because someone that I knew was exposed to COVID. And as I started to make new friends, they decided to take me out of school, and that kind of struck a lot. It struck a few nerves. I felt trapped again. I felt alone because Serena wasn't home like at all, and I kind of was just alone at home, and I didn't really know what to do, and I kind of just felt left out and alone. I'm gonna be using the term alone a lot because it's how I felt. I didn't feel joyful or happy or, you know, I I felt destroyed. I kind of just felt, you know, lost, and it brought back a lot of emotions: anxiety, depression, mood swings. Like 1 minute I would be happy, second I would be miserable. And I tried explaining to Serena that, you know, this quarantine's got me fucked up. I'm sorry, babe, but it's not going well. Nothing's going good. I feel shitty. I don't feel right. I feel, trapped and alone. But she didn't. She didn't, take that to heart. She didn't realize that I was being serious, and she let it get to her too. So what did she do? She basically told my face I needed to leave for a minute and go think about some shit. And she basically said, "Don't be mad at what my answer is." And I'm like, "Okay." I cried, begged for her to stay, but she didn't stay. So she left to go think for a minute. And I came downstairs, talked to my dad, and realized maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was Serena the entire time manipulating even though she said the same thing about me. I'll admit my standards were a little high, but hers were a little over the top too. She would constantly complain that I'm not grown up and I'm not, acting the way I should. I know I'm not acting like a 16-year-old should act. You filled your written test. I mean, like, you're not gonna get it right off the bat, like out the gates. You're gonna fail every now and then, but and she would constantly tell me to grow up, and then once I grew up, she wanted to, do more childish shit that I didn't really feel comfortable doing. She would constantly, like, me.
Hardcore team deathmatch. Spetsnaz, you have a green light. Вперед!
The whole chicka chicka wow wow was, it was a part of my relationship for a good minute. Oh man, it was like, oh yeah, let's do this and that and this and that and this and that, but she would basically say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh, okay, and I respected her, opinion, I respected what she wanted, and I would, cool it, calm down, and chill. So after I would calm down and chill, and then start to mature and grow up, she would suddenly be addicted to the same exact fucking thing. But, she would fucking, like, basically, like, literally be like, come on, let's do it. And I'm like, no, I don't really feel like that much. And, like, I was, like, in the kitchen, and she started to, do shit, like, on the phone, like, hint that she wanted to get with stuff, and my parents are in the room, and I didn't feel like, comfortable doing it, and she got mad at me for not doing it. I mean, that's kind of, obvious. Respect that I don't want to, do stuff at that moment, do it. And I kind of just felt, used, neglected. And she ended up saying that, she felt the same way, even though I never did anything to really neglect her. All I did was not want to, have sex every fucking day. That's what she wanted. She would use the excuse, I'm just a horny teenager. I'm like, yeah, I noticed, but sometimes a horny teenager has to grow up and become a fucking adult. And leave behind some, leave behind all those, childish acts and just chill for a minute, And just calm down. You don't need to do this shit, like, every fucking day. But she didn't listen to me, even though I would clearly listen to her 24/7 whenever she needed something. Like, okay, here's a scenario. I got quarantined and I became very ill. That weekend, I didn't feel good at all. I was sick. Something wasn't right, and she decided that would be a good time to hang out with her friends for the entire weekend when I was sick. But when she was sick, I would, do everything I could to make sure she was okay.
Enemy's pipeline inbound.
But when she left, it, really hurt a lot. It was a big impact. Not falling asleep on the phone with someone there with you, or not falling asleep with someone in your presence, or going through the day without someone you loved. It really hurts. It was a big impact on my life, and it changed me as a person. Like, extremely more than I ever thought I could change.
Multiple enemies pipeline contacts.
For the better, maybe. For the worst, I don't know. After she left, I went to school 3 days later and got to meet my friends again. And that was an amazing feeling, having the feeling of, having someone there with you. Just something about that felt, my current lover, Sam. And I don't know why, I don't know what came over me, usually after you break up with someone that you knew for 10 months, you would be heartbroken, but for some reason this person just pulled me out of that immediately. And I wasn't even taken back. I was like, wait, this is weird, and should this be wrong? Like, how should I feel about this? I didn't know how to feel, that I'm already, getting to another relationship after breaking up with someone I knew for 10 months. I didn't know really how to, you know, fully react, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? But I soon found out that that's what she did. Just with a little sprinkle on top, she had a crush on some dude when we were together, and she fantasized about, you know, holding hands with him and doing a bunch of couple shit. But I never had feelings for Sam at all. I've never, you know, thought of doing shit with Sam. I never thought of that. I just saw Sam as a really close friend, you know.
This isn't working. We're behind.
I never, you know, wanted that with Sam, but now they're all I think about at this point. And I can't get Sam off my mind now. But it's amazing, you know, how the human brain works like this. You know, one day you're more depressed than a fucking micro on Twitter. You're rational than a fucking tiger, a hungry tiger in a cage, surrounded by a bunch of feeders. You don't really know how to, you know, act. But then out of nowhere, some person drops into your life like a, you know, like a really, you know, just a really sweet bullet just drops into your life, and you're like, wow, this feels amazing, you know. I never really thought, you know, someone like this can exist. And I felt that way about, you know, Serena, and I felt heart-struck so amazing with some exes, but something about Sam hits really, really different. Something just ticks immediately, like, okay, like, quarantine, Serena left, I didn't know what else to do, so I reached out to my friends for help, you know, Jasmine, Chelsea doesn't have a phone, Sam, and Jasmine and Sam were really supportive, and after my, you know, first hour of not doing, because, like, school, it just felt off, you know, it felt just not right, you know, knowing that there's not going to be anything waiting for you when you get home, but a bed and a pillow to cry into. That it just didn't feel right, you know. It felt wrong, you know, like coming home to something that doesn't even exist anymore, something like not in your life. So I kind of just like sat there, and while my friends were talking and making jokes, I was just sitting there with my hood on and doing my work, not thinking. But after the first hour ended, I saw Sam leaning up against the wall, and I don't know what came over me, but I yelled out, "Sam!" and he fucking just ran up and gave me the biggest hug. So of course I hugged him back. I'm like, "Oh my god, I miss you so much." And he's like, "No, it's okay." Well, okay, let me explain something. Sam is trans. Their birth gender is a she, but they're transitioning to a dude, which I respect. Basically, they just ran up and wrapped their arms around me and gave me the biggest hug, and I don't know what came over me. You know, I was like, oh my god, I miss this. This is something I haven't felt in a while, and I'm already starting to feel whole. Thanks for being a friend. And then, like, as the day started to go on, I started to be like, oh my god, he's so adorable and sweet. Why is he being nice to me? And, things kind of just clicked, you know. He would shower me in gifts. He gave me a hoodie, ring, bracelets. I'm wearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things he gave me. And we made a joke. It was like, because like my ring that Serena gave me, I took off because I didn't need anymore, because it just reminded me of the waste of time that I spent on both of us, and it didn't feel right, you know. It felt kind of just, you know, wrong keeping that ring, so I took it off and put I put the ring that Sam gave me on my ring finger, because that's where it would fit, and it's on my left hand too. And then he fucking made the most adorable joke. He's like, look, we're married. I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, well, to get married first, you have to have a boyfriend. I'm like, yeah. And then I basically just like while we were, because like Sam was a really good person. He would grab my hand and like pull me to my classes, make sure I get there safe, make sure I'm okay, and make sure I'm feeling fine, right. And he is just a super sweet person overall. I'm so happy to have someone like Sam in my life. You know, it feels really amazing. But basically, he basically made a joke like while we were holding hands, and he's like, well, in order to get married first, you have to be in a relationship, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend scenario. I'm like, oh yeah. So like as like I'm holding his hand, I just like lift it up and look him in the eye and say, boyfriend? And then he's like, yeah, boyfriend. And then we started a date. We were pretty awkward. Oh man, we were pretty awkward with each other. We didn't really know how to react that well. But we fucking, clicked immediately. It felt like amazing having a person in your life again, especially one that you can actually look at and talk to face to face.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
And I don't know what came over me. Like once we started dating, it felt like I knew this person for so many years. It felt like I knew Sam for so long. And it just kind of like, oh my god, like what the fuck, man, like I don't know, man, just something about Sam just makes you fall for him so hard. His cute face and how he's like, he just wants to make sure you're okay, He just wants to make sure you're doing okay and make sure you're comfortable with everything going on around you and shit like that. He would do this thing, he still does, where he'll like shake your hand like wall, like he's holding my hand, like shake, and that's become like a thing. And it's really fun and sweet and cute, like shake, yeah. We've snuggled multiple times under the bed sheets, and we've done other things that I'm not gonna get into because yeah, other things. But I feel like I knew him for years. I just love that feeling when someone gives you that feeling, like you just like tell them anything and you won't feel judged. That was a feeling I had with Serena that I never really wanted to admit to. Because basically the thing was, she would complain that I tell her too much, and I, get my issues too mixed up with hers, so I wouldn't tell her anything. But she would become angry and agitated and like mad with Mom, like I'm not telling her shit. And she only wanted to hear what she wanted to hear, not what I wanted to tell her, And I would get home and want to talk about my day, and be like, hey, so this happened today. She's like, I don't want to hear about your day, stop. Because she would use the excuse that it takes too long for me to like explain my day, even though like I love like talking about my day, with the person I love. And she just would never want that, It wasn't me. it was never me. It was never me. It wasn't me at all. I tried my best to be the greatest boyfriend. I just had some issues with what she was doing. I had left behind so many of my best friends and so many of my
Loot the corpses.
closest friends behind because my thing is I've been through so much shit, cheating, so I'm never gonna cheat. I've seen how people can act in relationships. I don't want that. And once I start seeing that, I kind of just like, okay, I want to change this person up just a wee bit, And that's what she did to me. She wanted to change me. I've changed so much since I've met her. And I feel like those were just years I could have done better shit. You know, I could have met someone in real life, someone special that I could be with to this day, that I could love, like Sam. I told Sam I was with Serena when we first met, and then they kind of shut down, and I immediately knew, like, oh no, they have feelings. But now Sam is the only thing that's on my mind at this point. It will never be. I did the best I could to be the greatest boyfriend ever. I did the best I could to make sure Serena was okay. Yeah, I did the best I could to make sure Serena was okay with everything I did. I only had a few requests, you know what you're doing that's wrong, and it was always my fault. You know, she made everything feel like it was my fault, and then once I started bringing that up, she would start using it against me. That's what she would do. She would use shit against me that I would say to her. Like, she would, like, have a panic attack and, like, claim she was about to cut her wrist. So I would text her mom, and her mom would go talk to her, say, don't do that, please, and then, you know, bada bee bada boom, there you go, Serena's okay within 2 seconds. But when we were together, I'm rarely anymore, but I was really insecure about my body. I don't like how I look. I don't like it at all. I didn't like it. And on 4th of July, I was alone. She left. I wanted to spend it with her. Because we'd only spend everything together. And I, kind of shut down, like, ugh, this fucking sucks. Everyone's doing shit, and I'm here alone. So I tried to overdose on pills. Said my goodbyes through text, but the pills were strong enough to take me out, I guess. They didn't have the effect I wanted them to have. But then Serena texted my mom and called her, and who gets in trouble? Me. I get in trouble for apparently causing Serena discomfort, even though she did the same thing to me, but I just kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And then that kind of just all crumbled apart. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if I should feel loved, wanted, used, or something. Because if I'm getting in trouble for making her feel like shit, for apparently my issues that I brought upon myself, and I shouldn't, tell her anything, so I stopped telling her stuff. And then I was claimed as the bad guy for not telling her anything. And then she would make me feel like an asshole every day if I wouldn't tell her anything. Excuse me. It's like I never wanted any of that. All I wanted was a healthy relationship where I could, feel wanted and loved. Mostly I felt judged, unwanted, used, and neglected. Because if she won't get in trouble for making me feel like shit, but I will. That's not even fair at that point. And you know what? She was right. It was an abusive relationship. But it wasn't abusive on her part. It was abusive on my part. I was the one dealing with all this mental shit being abused. And she was like, you're fucking my mind. No, I'm not. I'm just wanting you to grow up like you want me to grow up, right? You want me to change? Be the boyfriend that you wanted to, that you fell in love with since day one? And be the girl I fell in love with since day one, you know? She was way too immature for my liking. and she would I don't know. It's just these girls, you know, always doing the same shit. They love you for 10 months, they get you attached, and then suddenly they ask if you just want to be friends. It's kind of hard to just be friends with someone you love that much. You can't just do that. You can't be friends with someone you love that much. And she completely thought I was going gay. I'm not. I guess the only way I could be friends with her is if I was turning gay, which I wasn't. That's not who I am. I changed for a person so much. You know, there have been multiple times I wanted to do something that, you know, she wouldn't like, but I backed out from it because I knew she wouldn't like it. And there would be times where she would say, like, I do this because I know you won't like it, but she didn't know me that well, I guess. Right now I think she's currently dating someone. She's stalking me on Instagram, which I'm not comfortable with. I got a notification one day, and it said, Sir Milso is following you on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of odd. You know, I didn't, like, what the fuck, you know? And I check, and she tells me blocked. So that means she's just following me, but she's trying to be secretive about it, and that isn't right. You know, you left, don't stick around. For most of the time, that much, you shouldn't be sticking around. If you claim that I'm just a horrible person, you shouldn't be sticking around. If you hate me that much, then just leave already. And I've told her that multiple times. If you don't, like, that's my number one rule in relationships. I'm being dead honest. No one can follow this one rule. I've not met a single person that can follow this one rule. If you genuinely want to leave and break up, leave at that moment. Don't let me waste your time, or don't waste mine. Please just get out when you want. Don't linger, because it'll only hurt more when you do leave. That's what she did. She stuck around. She said, I wanted to leave you for 2 months straight, but I never, you know, chose to do it. I'm like, why the fuck haven't you? Rule. You genuinely don't feel happy with me, you want to leave? Get the fuck out. Don't waste my time, or don't let me waste yours. So much shit to keep her around. All for it to be fucked up and, you know, make me hurt so much. Never know my fears? I'll tell you guys my number one fears right now. The things that make me just off the edge and just don't make me feel right. When people I don't know stare at me constantly and just keep staring. Stare constantly, no matter what the fuck's going on, just keep staring and staring and staring and staring. I hate that. Don't stare at me, please. Just stop. Your eyes beaming the back of my head doesn't feel correct to me. That's something people do all the time. Being alone is my number one fear. Being alone sucks. But with me, it's over the top because I've been left alone so many times to the point where it hurts to think about me being left alone. We currently live in a society where everything's judged and based on what you believe in, not on how you act. how you act and what you believe in are separated by two separate things. And with Serena, she can believe in whatever she wanted.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
I didn't give two shits if she believed in, you know, this Black Lives Matter stuff or Joe Biden or anything like that. As long as she's a good person to me and she loves me for who I am just fine and dandy. But she didn't love me for who I was at all. She let her opinion get to her, and she let it take over how she thought about everything.
Hostile spy plane established overhead.
She was still living as an 8-year-old. Forever and always. Is what she used to tell me. We used to say to each other, forever and always. Never and just never. The only forever and always here is how you act and how you're gonna act forever. And always. You're always gonna be an 8-year-old. Me? I'm doing what you wanted me to do, and I grew up fast. No, like, come on, bud. Like, one simple joke, and I'm immediately fucking, like, Adolf Hitler himself. One simple, like, little tiny joke, and I'm basically a horrible person.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
Just too sensitive. And I know she's gonna say to her boyfriend, "You're better than anyone else I've ever met. Make me feel better." 'Cause that's what she's told me. That's what she told me multiple times.
Enemy care package above.
But people lie. No. People lie a lot. People will lie just to save themselves and makes them feel better. No one really means it when they say I love you. Especially Serena. Serena never meant when she said I love you. She must have meant at the time. But did she really, really mean it? Genuinely? No. No, she did not. She didn't mean anything. It's never good to feel used in a relationship, and she's gonna tell the rest of her boyfriends, because I doubt this fucking Tyson bitch is gonna stick around, because she's gonna do the exact same thing that she did to me, to him, and use the excuse that he has to grow up, he has to get better. You know why? Because it's fucking obvious. Don't change a hoe. You know? Her legs are open, but her heart and arms aren't.
Okay, I'm calling it. All operators proceed to exfil point.
We're gonna make them pay for that. Please, this person. Full ruckus. That's beautiful. I'm just over it, you know, guys. I can't even say guys anymore because no one even wants this channel. I mean, no one. No, I used to fucking do all this stuff just for Serena. Well, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting here right now on YouTube, basically. You know, the YouTube was dying out for me. I fucking hated it. I was just planning on quitting my YouTube channel, but she said no so many times, and, you know, people have been tuning in and being nice recently, and I'm like, oh man, this is kind of what I need right now, man, but, I mean, like, I've met my person, and I know I've told that to Serena, and, well, just Serena. And she's gonna, and I should have noticed the red flags right when she first told me. This is my first ever serious relationship when we were dating online, and then we met in real life, and then our parents basically openly told each other that would be better if we broke up. What time is it? It's 12:23. I might be getting off right now. That's what's been going on. Serena's out of the picture, guys. Sam's in the picture now. And am I happy? Yeah. I'm the happiest I've felt in a while. I haven't felt this way with Serena at all. This is something new. Is there still some sadness and reminiscent? Yeah. It's gonna take a good minute to get back into the mindset that I was in before Serena left. Because I have these moments, you know, where I'm like, oh, I'm so happy, but Serena, damn, she really fucked everything up for me. And I've been so long saying it's my fault, but it's really not. I just had, you know, requirements that I kind of wanted to be fulfilled, that she also wanted me to fulfill for her, and I did. I grew up, got more mature. I just wanted one thing, you know, stop getting so buddy-buddy with this Tyson guy. And you know what? You know what? I fucking told her. It happened. Now they're dating. You know, she fucking literally made it awkward by saying, I think Tyson just asked me out on a date, and then was like, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with him, take pictures of his car. I'm gonna work on his car, and she's literally hanging out with him every single day. And then started to fall for him. And then it kind of just went downhill from there. He's in her profile picture and everything on Instagram. So I can still see her comment, and he's just there. I'm like, wow. Really, it took you that long to just get over me like that? When I'm still kind of reminiscing, like, oh man, this fucking sucks. But I guess I have this person. Now this person's way better, but fuck, they really fucked me up, didn't they? That's my life so far. I'm still a broken human being. I don't want to openly admit to it. And when she basically said that on the phone call, I want to break up, I said, okay, sure. And you know why I'm okay with this? You can't really hurt an overthinker, because they thought through this shit already before in my head. And she literally lied to me, and I was like, why do you want to break up? Are you falling for Tyson? And then she's like, no. To fucking, like, an hour later, yeah, I've been falling for him when we were together. And she said that my world cat just fell apart. You know, I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know who was my friend, my lover, who was, you know, someone I should keep around. I don't know. But I'm still partially broken. Both me and Sam just got out of our serious relationships. We were both abused by our lover, mentally or physically. And now we're just helping each other get back on our feet. And when we do, we're planning on sticking together for a long time. If we break up, it's fine. That's just the way the boat flows. That's the way the stream goes, but I'm hoping we don't. Because this is something I really like. I love Sam. Sam is an amazing person. I'm gonna hang out with them tomorrow. They're coming to my house again. We've been hanging out a few days in a row, here and there, over the weekend, during the weeks. Doesn't matter. We've been hanging out, and we love each other's company. We snuggle, hold hands, hug, get in trouble. It's really fun being with someone you love truly, and someone that you know will never hurt you in that way that you've been hurted by someone else. It's me, my whole entire thing. I know what it's like to lose a lover, and I would never wish that upon my own personal, best friend. I'm gonna get off and go to bed, guys. That's my life so far. That's what I've been up to. My life has been a roller coaster of emotions and so many different, emotions in one head. But the only emotions that I feel at this moment are, peace and, you know, feeling wanted, basically. So this is Alexander McLaurin. I wish everyone a good night and a good evening, a good Halloween, good life. Remember, if you're going through stuff, you'll get through it. Just like I'll be getting through this. I am getting through it slowly, but I know I'm getting better. So this is Alexander McLaurin, and I'll see you guys later. Good night.